Now to the ABC News exclusive, George Stephanopoulos one-on-one with President Trump's former longtime personal attorney, Michael Cohen. The president's so-called fixer, who once said, "I will do anything to protect Mr. Trump," now telling George he will put country and family first. Cohen under intense pressure since the FBI raided his home and his office, perhaps signaling his willingness to cooperate with federal prosecutors. Here's ABC's chief news anchor, George Stephanopoulos.
He's the lawyer and fixer who once vowed he'd take a bullet for his most famous client.
I'll do anything to protect Mr. Trump. I'm obviously very loyal and very dedicated to Mr. Trump.
But when I sat down with Michael Cohen in New York this weekend, it was clear something has changed. Federal prosecutors are breathing down his neck, and when I asked Cohen what he'll do if they offer him leniency in return for information on President Trump, he was emphatic. "My wife, my daughter, and my son have my first loyalty," he said, "and they always will. I put family and country first." 3 times I pressed him, and 3 times his answer was the same: family first.
Mr. President, is Michael Cohen going to flip, sir? Will Michael Cohen flip,
Thank
sir?
you very much. In the Oval Office today, President Trump ignored questions. In the past, he predicted Cohen won't turn against him, tweeting, "Most people will flip if the government lets them out of trouble. Sorry, I don't see Michael doing that." But now Cohen is sending a clear signal to the president, prosecutors, and the country. "I will not be a punching bag as part of anyone's defense strategy," he told me. "I am not a villain of this story, and I will not allow others to try to depict me that way." Cohen is under investigation by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York for possible bank and wire fraud. Prosecutors are digging into his $130,000 hush payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. The president claimed to know nothing about it.
Well, you have to ask Michael Cohen. Michael's my attorney, and you'll have to ask Michael.
And in the past, Cohen insisted he acted on his own initiative. But now, when I asked if the president directed him to pay off the porn star, Cohen hedged, telling me, "I want to answer. One day I will answer. But for now, I can't comment further on advice of my counsel." In April, FBI agents raided Cohen's home and office, seizing documents and more than a dozen phones and electronic devices.
I just heard that they broke into the office of one of my personal attorneys, good man, and it's a disgraceful situation.
But Cohen told me he doesn't agree with those who demonize or vilify the FBI, adding, "The agents were respectful, courteous, and professional. I thanked them for their service, and as they left, we shook hands." Cohen also refused to criticize Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian meddling and possible collusion with the Trump campaign.
It's a witch hunt. That's all it is. It's a total witch hunt. The entire thing has been a witch hunt.
Cohen told me, "I don't like the term witch hunt." And he has tough words about that infamous Trump Tower meeting when Don Jr., Jared Kushner, and Paul Manafort sat down with a Russian lawyer they were told had dirt on Hillary Clinton. Cohen calls the meeting a mistake, an example of poor judgment. And when I asked him if Donald Trump knew about the meeting in advance, Cohen would only tell me this: "I can't comment under advice of my counsel."
And George joins us now in studio. George, a very telling interview there. But the big question tonight, why is Michael Cohen speaking out? Is he trying to send a message?
Oh, definitely. That's part of it. Strategic. Sending a message, as I said, to prosecutors, to the president, and to the country. But, Tom, I also think it's deeply personal for Michael Cohen. He's been taking a lot of hits out there from allies of President Trump, in the press, in the public. He wanted to tell his story. He wanted to send a signal also that he is becoming his own man and ultimately wants to work for what he calls resolution to this matter.
Now, we do want to mention Michael Cohen has not been charged with anything, but he has changed his lawyer, which is very significant.
For 2 reasons. Number one, who that lawyer is, Guy Petrillo, a veteran of the Southern District of New York. He was the head of the criminal division there, so he knows these prosecutors well. Secondly, and this is very, very significant, when Guy Petrillo formally comes on board, that will mark the end of the joint defense agreement that Michael Cohen's lawyers have had with President Trump and his attorneys and their allies' attorneys to share information, to share strategies. Once he comes on board, that agreement is going to be over. That means the sides could be in a much more adversarial position.
George Stephanopoulos with that exclusive interview tonight. George, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.